Okay, we have somebody in the audience who is live streaming this, and the person who's live streaming this, who does Clubhouse debates.
Everything dictates everything. That is a non-informative statement. Number two, it is not one that can be instantiated.
No, there's conditional and unconditional, right?
I don't think you understood what I just said. Is it your position?
So reality is a set. And why can't
are we going to talk
eternal?
Past each other, or are we going to have a conversation with each other? Okay. You said, is it your position that everything dictates everything?
No.
Reality dictates all instances?
What? You cut out there.
Is reality what dictates any specific instance?
Reality instantiates what is the case.
Oh, okay, that's number one. And number two, it is non-informative. That is like saying dictates everything. Okay, that's your position.
Yeah. Is it possible you have a loose wire?
Non-informative.
You're breaking up pretty bad.
It's indefensible. Okay.
How is it indefensible? What I'm saying is reality is a set.
Point of moderation.
Things happen.
Hold on. Point of moderation.
Darth, do not stand in causal relations.
Is it possible you have a loose wire? You're breaking.
No, I've been having trying to the last couple of days. I'm trying to figure out my routing problem. I have my router.
Okay, never mind. Continue on.
Problematic.
Sorry, continue on, Razor.
Okay, so Razor, your position is, I'll say it again because it's a good word. It's self-stultifying. Okay, your statement, everything dictates everything, is uninformative, and number two, it's not even something that you can instantiate.
So when I say reality is the set of all things, right, and that is eternal, reality's always existed, right?
Where
it is eternal.
No, that's an abstraction.
Okay, hold on. So that's my point of view, right? You can not like it.
That's perfectly deny right. The word that's reality is an abstraction.
But I'm not.
Can we talk with each other?
I'm trying to, but I wasn't finished.
Okay. Reality is an abstraction. You're committing the fallacy of reification. Do you know what reification is?
Reification.
No, reality is a description of everything that is.
Are you going to respond?
I'm correcting you. I'm correcting you.
Can we stop the hecklers, please?
I'm correcting you because you are straw manning my position. I'm not taking that position.
No, I didn't.
Holy shit. You literally get mad when I interrupt you, but you cannot stop interrupting me.
Do you?
You don't want to talk with me because I can get three words in.
I just want to see if Razor feels like his back's up against the wall. Sounds like he's under duress.
I'm not under duress at all. I'm
literally
trying to make a point. Okay.
Let's talk with each other.
Then shut the fuck up for a minute and let me get my whole entire situation out and quit straw manning. I'm saying is, yes, you did. I'm saying is a reality is a set. It is eternal. Reality is a description we give for everything that is.
Right, yeah, that's an abstraction. Okay. Sets
again, it's not an abstraction. I literally said it is a word of a description.
Considers it a
Razor. I don't think you understand. The word reality is an abstraction. Okay. Can you show me reality?
You are a part of reality.
Okay,
reality is a set. Reality is a set with everything that exists.
It's an abstraction.
Oh my God!
So the word reality is abstraction. It's reference. It's not an abstraction.
All right, look. I can go somewhere else where I'm not interrupted.
I don't
know fucking baby.
Can we stop the heckler's veto here?
I can go, you baby.
Well,
to Razor, why is incorrect? Can we stop the hecklers, please?
So
Razor.
So here's
when you say I'm trying to respond to you. Okay. Do you know what it is?
You cut out. What was that?
I said. Making the common mistake that people when you say something as an abstraction, it fiction. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, when you say reality, okay, set of all real concrete particulars. Is that correct?
Yes, it's the set of all things that exist.
Right, all particulars. Okay, whatever
everything that exists.
Okay, all right. Okay, now when you use one term. The many, that is an abstract. Abstractions do not stand in causal relation. So, for example, suppose in a thought experiment, instead of talking about reality, there are just 10 marbles, okay? I use this as an illustration because it's an easy way to get a handle on it, okay? If I were to say to you, what is it that dictates the instance of marble number 3? And you said, all the marbles, okay? Well, that would be an abstraction, okay? You could call all the marbles reality, right? Now, first of all, to say that all the marbles dictate all the marbles would be non-informative, and it would also be something that could not be instantiated, okay? So do you think it's informative if we, in our thought experiment of 10 marbles, okay? If I say to you, what is it that dictates marble number 5? Okay, what instantiates what the marble is, can be, or cannot be? And you say, well, all the marbles dictate what all the marbles are. Do you think that that's informative?
No. So if you were talking about a marble, right? A marble has properties. Either the marble exists
I had my phone was ringing.
Holy shit! I couldn't even finish. I couldn't look at this. I couldn't get 5
didn't hear what you
words
said.
And he,
wow, he's trying to tell you that. He's trying to tell you to repeat yourself.
My phone was ringing, and I didn't hear the first part of what you said.
Okay, what I'm saying is, if we are talking about a marble has properties. Reality instantiates those properties.
No, you're reifying right now.
Hold on. Holy shit! I can't even fucking finish. I can't even finish. Look at this. Look at this. So I let him talk for about 2 minutes straight, and I can get 10 seconds in, and you just fucking interrupt.
Let's go
do you want to have a
conversation? And what a fucking low-rent $5 word that is. Well, hey, Darth, you use the word stultify specifically so people have to go look it up to know what the even fuck you're trying to talk about, so you can perceive to be intelligent when you could just say it's nonsense. You fucking prick.
He's saying it has to
be made. Here's the thing. Here's
hold on. What you just said. Stultify.
Razor, I'm going to point this out to you. I asked him what brand of Christianity was on October 12th, and that's when he banned me.
I'm only going to respond to one person at a time.
My first conversation, I asked him what kind of Christianity is. I'm still waiting for the answer. That's how well he does the conversation.
Reify means.
Stop.
I'm just curious if I'm ever going to
Razor,
answer this question.
Do you know what?
Everybody else asserts what the fuck you believe.
Okay, well,
but I've never heard you claim it.
Razor and Darth Dawkins.
And with Razor.
Can I? You might have. Yeah, you might have.
Do you know what the fallacy of reification is?
Tell us what that is.
Well, you're committing it. It's where we an abstraction as though it's a concrete particular. Okay?
I'm not, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. Hold on. You literally talked for fucking 2 minutes, and then I couldn't finish. I literally got 10 words in, and you don't want to have a conversation, obviously. You just want to control everything, and then you won't answer any questions.
I'm not trying to control everything.
Yes, you. Oh, please.
Just let him go the wrong way.
How many times do I have to ask you if you understand what reification is?
As long as he doesn't say something about you, we should let him go.
Can we stop the hecklers, please?
Here's the thing is when I say is reality, I am talking about the map. It is mapping the territory, right?
Okay, you're ignoring me.
What you are doing
I'll
is
repeat the question
again
time.
Before you went into your 2-minute monologue. Holy shit.
Is?
So we can mod everybody else, but except when it comes to Darth,
you
cannot mod him.
Right?
That's right.
He's not taking a shortcut.
He's completely ignoring me. I keep on asking him, do you know what reification is? And he keeps on like a machine gun motor mouth, okay? He's not interested in having a back and forth. Okay.
Like he doesn't want to engage in your fucking tangents. It's
okay,
so weird.
Jack, please stop addressing me. I've already reported you 4 times for persistent
blow yourself.
harassment.
Yeah, blow yourself.
Yeah.
Here's 5.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to report you again.
Okay, well, blow yourself on that one too. Okay.
Okay, good. I'm reporting you again.
Okay, and then you blow yourself on that one.
Can we unmute?
Okay,
can we please stop the hecklers? Because I would like to talk with
get a better
Razor
act
instead
and
of
you'll
just
stop getting heckled.
Can the moderators please stop the heckling?
Then stop interrupting him.
Okay. Can the moderators please stop the heckling? So, Razor, do you know what reification is? Can we stop?
Yes.
Can we stop the hecklers, please?
Listen,
Yes,
listen,
I know.
I was
somewhere
for a
else. I've been very
conversation.
patient here.
Instead, we had your ass interrupt us
Can we
while
stop
we
the
were having a
hecklers,
conversation,
please?
right?
Get a
Right?
better act.
Darth,
And we'll stop
Can we
getting
stop
heckled.
the hecklers,
you
please?
come in
Get a
here
better
and you
act.
stop conversations. That's all you
Can
do.
we stop
you
the
stop
hecklers?
conversations. This isn't a heckle. This is a critique. And you can either listen, which I know you're fucking incapable of, you fucking boomer. I'm so fucking sick of you. Why don't you fucking leave?
You're going to lose the
Hugs, call 911.
Shut up your ass and fucking
Call
take
911. Wow, he's
and
going to have
go
a heart
the fuck
attack.
away,
Right
motherfucker.
on. He's having a heart attack.
You ruin conversations. That's all I've seen you do since
Oh
you
my
came back to
gosh,
this
get an
server.
EKG machine.
Yes, give me an EKG.
Oh my God.
You're finally
Why is this
listening.
loud?
Holy shit.
Okay.
I literally have to
I
scream
know what
for
it
you to hear
means.
me.
Who was actually
What
having a
God
conversation?
do you
before
believe
that
in?
happened?
You worthless,
I
mindless coward.
I know what it means. It means you're taking an abstract as a physical thing, right? But I'm not saying
I will
that.
ask you a question.
How am I using it? How am I using it? Okay, is
I'm
not
trying to
an
explain to you-
abstraction. Okay,
No,
because you're straw
wrong.
manning my position. If I can get
I did
30
straw-
seconds
oh,
and lay out
wow.
my holy.
Why are you
I'm
interrupting?
sorry.
Does
I'm sorry.
reality-
I'm sorry
does
you interrupted while I was
reality
talking.
dictate all
Yeah,
instances?
why are you interrupting Darth when he's?
Can
I
we
mean,
stop
God
the
forbid I
hecklers?
ask him the same question. How many times I've asked
Can
him
we stop
politely?
the
I've now asked
hecklers?
him rudely, and he still won't
Can we
fucking answer.
stop the
I'm like 10
hecklers?
seconds away from
Okay,
muting
Razor.
your ass.
Hold on, guys.
Can
hold on.
we
If you
stop
can't
the
fucking
hecklers?
answer my
Razor answered
question,
him.
you can get the fuck out of my
Razor
room.
answered
Can we
him.
stop
Are
the
you a
hecklers?
fucking Christian? Yes or no?
Razor,
Can we stop
Razor
the
answered you,
hecklers?
Darth. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Razor
No
answered
answer.
you. Go
Can
ahead.
we
No
stop the
fucking
hecklers?
answer. I've never gotten you to answer.
Can we stop the
have I?
hecklers?
Yeah, Razor
Because you're
answered
a
you. Go ahead.
coward.
Can we stop the hecklers?
Well,
No, I want an
He's a
answer to my
mod,
question
Darth.
before you
Can
run
we
away.
stop the hecklers?
Because you're a fucking crybaby.
Can we
Fucking
stop the
Jack
Guys,
hasn't
hecklers?
said anything that
Razor
isn't
answered him.
inaccurate.
Guys,
You're a
Razor
crybaby
answered
little
him.
motherfucker who's crying
What?
about
Stop
fucking
being
Can we stop
moderation.
the
And
hecklers?
all
Okay.
I've done, for a month is ask
Okay,
you
hugs.
what
Warning,
you,
hugs.
what
Can
God
we
Warning,
stop the
you
hugs.
fucking
hecklers?
believe in,
Warning, hugs.
and you refuse to answer.
Warning, hugs.
Razor
Warning,
answered
hugs.
you, Darth. Go ahead. Razor answered you. Go
Why
ahead.
is Jack muted?
Oh, sorry, Jack.
Where's
Can we
Ziggy
stop
at,
the
man?
hecklers, please?
Yeah,
Okay,
Razor
so
answered you. Go
Razor.
ahead.
Okay, so Razor, when you say there are certain things that do not stand in causal relations. Like, for example, the number 2 does not stand in causal relations. Would you agree with that, Razor?
What do you mean causal relations?
The number 2 stand in causal relation to anything.
It can reference something, right? Or are you saying? Hold on. Here's a question. Are you saying that all words are abstractions?
Okay.
Are you saying all words are abstractions?
No. Now.
No.
I'm asking
Okay.
you is
So
that
when I use the word reality, so when I use the word reality, it is a description of a territory I'm talking about. And,
right, but that's still
an
an
description
abstraction.
of the territory, right?
It doesn't matter that all the each of the individual members are okay. So if we have a set of concrete particulars, let's say, okay, which will represent reality, each of the individual marbles are concrete particulars. But if you refer to the set of those 10 individual concrete particulars marbles, hold on, I gotta shut my phone off.
Your phone's a heckler.
Yeah. Okay. So if you refer to these individual particulars by one term, okay, that's abstraction. Do you understand that before I continue?
So, if I'm saying that reality is the set, and there are,
all I want to know is if you understand what I just said. I don't need an explanation.
Well, the explanation is very needed, because if not, you will give a straw man position.
Well, let him have his time, please.
I'm asking you if you understood what I said.
How does he have all the time and I don't get none?
Okay.
I was talking about you.
What I'm saying to you is, when you refer to a set of concrete
how are we hearing this guy again?
A single. Can we stop the hecklers, please?
Darth, you can't demand just yes
How many
or no
times
answers,
do I have to ask?
Darth, you
how
can't
many times do I have to
interrupt this guy? You can't demand only yes and no answers and expect
this is why I don't like.
Yeah, I'm gonna start muting the hecklers, ladies and gentlemen.
Nobody.
He gets heckled because his act sucks.
You can't demand yes and no no answers and expect a conversation to continue. If he's going to expand on his answer, that's part of the conversation. That's what's going to happen. So go ahead.
Okay.
Just me and Razor.
Concrete's in control.
Okay.
He's your man, Darth.
So
Razor. Okay, when I ask a question, I just want you to confirm if you're understanding what I'm saying, so I can finish my point.
I understand what you're saying, but you're not listening to me, right?
Can I ask you a question?
I'm
trying to get to a point.
Later, okay, buddy?
Okay.
Bye.
I see. This is why you can't have conversation with any atheists. Now, do abstractions stand in causal relations?
No, they're abstraction.
Okay, is the word reality an abstraction?
No.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so what makes an abstraction what makes an abstraction an abstraction?
An abstraction is a term or a concept that attempts to collectivize certain concrete particulars, but it is not one concrete thing in itself. Also, there are other things that are abstractions like numbers. Okay, sets would be a good example of an abstraction. Now, if I invoke does a set actually stand in causal relations?
Well, I would disagree with your
does a set stand in causal relations?
Holy shit. I would disagree with your definition of abstraction. Abstraction is a quality of dealing with ideas and not like actual things.
No, you're not understanding. Okay, a single term, okay, that collectivizes 10 concrete particulars, and I use one term. But that one thing is not actually referring to one concrete thing. It is collectivizing a plurality of concrete things. So by definition, it's an abstraction. Okay. So for example, if I were to say, if we had 10 discrete marbles that were not concretely unified, and I called that blue. Okay. Right. So I got 10 individual marbles. They're not concretely unified. All right. And I refer to that as blue. Is blue an abstract?
I don't know what the blue is.
The blue refers to the 10 individual concrete particulars called marbles. Is blue an abstraction?
No, blue is describing 10 marbles.
No, blue is an abstraction.
Total abstraction.
Okay, the blue is a word, okay, or a token that resides in the mind in order on a plurality of concrete particulars that are not concretely unified. So if I say to you, humanity, is that an abstraction?
Is humanity an abstraction?
Yes.
Sure.
Right. Now, do you understand abstractions do not stand in causal relations? Only concrete particulars stand in causal relations. So to give you an example, okay, we can talk about the number 1 or the set, okay, of number 1 and 2. Do numbers, which are abstract objects, do they stand in causal relations?
No.
Okay. So abstractions do not stand in causal. So let me give you an example. Suppose we had I know what it was. I saw a parade where they were holding up a float, and there were like 100. Okay, 100 individual men. Now, yeah. So I saw a parade where like 100 men were holding up a float as they brought it down the street. Let's say I referred to all the 100 men that were holding up the float. Okay, those men as humanity. Okay, and I said, humanity was holding up the float. Okay. Now, that's shorthand for communication. But you see, humanity as a token, as an abstraction, doesn't stand in causal relations. What we have is each individual was contributing in part to holding up the float. The abstraction doesn't. What we have is each individual person, but your mind is trying to conceptualize particulars that are not concretely unified into a single term as though particular. So when reality dictates all instances. Okay, right? This is a reification fallacy. Okay.
So let's parse out what the difference is. Okay, is like I'm saying there is a set of concrete things, right? And I'm saying is that that those sets, right, can be eternal. Like reality always existed. Right?
No, I don't think you're.
Hold on. You're imposing that this set of reality, right? This, I'll even say it, this abstraction of reality, right? This set must have a cause, correct?
No.
Must have an instantiation of it, correct?
No, that's not my point. No, what I'm talking about right now is I'm correcting you're committing the fallacy of reification. I'm trying to inform you. Okay, when you say reality dictates everything or all instances, okay, the set of all instances, all you're just simply saying is everything dictates everything. Okay, so when you, whether you say reality or everything, this is an abstraction. Okay, abstractions do not. So for example, if I had 10 individual dowels or poles holding up a board, okay? And we refer to all the different 10 dowels or poles by one term, and we call that Jblublu, okay? We say Jblublu is holding up the board. That's an abstraction because each of the dowels or the poles are in part holding up, okay? But when you refer to them all as one concrete thing, it's not one concrete thing. It's an abstraction. This is a very common basic mistake that people make in logic and reason. It's called the fallacy of reification. So now when you say everything dictates everything, okay? All the members of the concrete particulars dictate all concrete particulars. Number one, it's a non-informative statement. Number two, even if it was an informative statement, it would not be something that you could instantiate. Okay. Okay. So for example, if you say everything dictates everything, do you believe that, by the way? Does everything dictate everything?
Maybe it could.
No. I want you to say.
I would say I don't know.
Okay. Now the problem is you've now flipped because a few minutes ago you said reality dictates everything. Do you recall saying that?
I would say reality is the set of all things that exist.
Okay, that's not an answer to my question. You said multiple times reality dictates everything. Do you remember you saying that?
Reality instantiates everything.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Okay. Do you recall saying that?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
wait,
you're committing the
flip.
Can I finish, please?
Flip shit around, but he can't.
So when you say,
hold on.
No, you're dishonest
finish,
fucking
please?
Christian. No.
Okay.
I'll call you a Christian because you act like one.
I will even go this far.
May I finish, please?
I literally allowed you to talk for like 5 minutes straight.
May I finish?
No,
okay.
You understand now. You've literally bloviated everything else. Okay, I can even say. I'll even say.
No, listen. This is simple
this
sales
is why
tactics.
It's so difficult talking with
AP is getting wrecked.
No, we work with Hugs.
It's
with Razor. Come on. Go ahead, Razor.
Okay,
go ahead.
You know what? No, wait. One last thing. Andricus, he said he was going to answer my question an hour ago that he's still
I was going to mention that.
Way to go. He's just a bad interlocutor. He's just a bad interlocutor.
Maybe he'll stick around.
We're achieving something with Razor right now.
Hold on.
So Razor, go ahead and answer him.
So here's the thing is, if we want back and forth, we'll both ask each other questions, right? So my position, okay, or what I think about my position has no bearing on what you think about your position, has none whatsoever. So what I'm asking you is that, would you say a reality is a set?
You dropped out. Would you say reality is what?
A set.
Reality is a conceptual set, yeah.
Okay. Do you think that there must be a cause for reality?
No, because reality is an abstraction.
Okay. Do you think there needs to be a cause for everything that exists?
I think that.
Do you think there needs to be a cause for everything that exists?
No.
No. Okay. So could everything just exist, okay, without having a cause?
No. That is the only thing that is self-contained. Okay. And everything else is.
How did you determine that?
Thank you.
By the only way that I could, he would have to disclose that.
Okay. And how do you get the disclosure?
He does it through his revelatory act.
How do you receive the revelatory act?
Hold on a second. Was I answering you and you cut?
Yeah, he's got some more there.
Let him finish.
Oh, so he can cut me off.
Are you going to let me finish? Are you going to let me finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the only way that I can know God's self-disclosure is through his revelatory actions, which compositely are what we call natural revelation and special or progressive revelation. Okay. Now, I'll be glad to discuss this further, but we haven't finished the issue about how you made a mistake.
Hold on. There's literally one more question. How do you?
Then you better make it quick.
How did you determine special and natural revelation? What method did you use?
How do we do that? Because the revelation itself is self-attesting.
Whoa.
But that doesn't say anything. That's literally a tautology. So again,
no, it's not. That's not a.
Yeah, it is. You're saying the thing that reveals itself reveals itself, right? It's self-attesting. How did you receive the revelation?
Well,
it's not tautological. You may consider it to be circular. It isn't tautological. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is this. Okay. If you I don't rabbit trail, I'll be glad to discuss this with you. And I'm going to answer you right now, but we need to go back about your fallacy of reification. Okay. Now, when it comes to coming to know things, okay, either we're going to accept that there's going to have to be at least one thing that is self-attesting, or nothing can be self-attesting. So when I tell you, how do I know self-disclosure? It's because God's revelatory actions in creation are self-attesting, without which nothing could be known. Now, I just want to wrap this up on this rabbit trail here. Do you reject? May I finish, please? I'm answering you. I need clarification.
I understand, but you have a huge problem.
Listen to me.
Well, I'm sorry you bring up like 15 points during your monologue, and it's difficult to narrow down to one point that you have a problem.
It's almost close to have a conversation with you. You bicker like a teenager. Now, I'm trying to explain to you, when I give you that answer, you will either accept in principle the concept of self-authentication, or you will reject that anything is self-authenticating. So which do you do?
Depends on what the thing we're attesting to.
It's a very simple question. Either you like chocolate.
So I'll say this is the reality attests itself.
No, you're not focusing on what I'm. You tried to get me on a rabbit trail. I'm trying to wrap up the rabbit trail so we can get back to your fallacy of reification.
Okay,
now,
and I'm going.
Do you accept? Would you stop over talking me? Now, do you accept in principle that something can be self-authenticating, or do you reject that in principle?
I don't reject it in principle, nor do I confirm it.
No, that's not a metaphysic that you can actually be neutral about, okay? Because your reasoning will be either in virtue that something, at least one or more things, are self-authenticating, or you will be reasoning from a position without referencing that. So this is a metaphysic that you actually can't reserve judgment about, okay? Now, can
I address that?
When you said may I finish? You're the one who's rabbit trailing. I'm trying to address the rabbit trail.
I'm trying to address the point.
Yeah, okay, I have plenty of other rooms where people want to talk with me.
Bye. See you later. You're bringing up like 15 fucking points. Dude,
no, I'm not.
Well, it's a bit of a story.
About this issue, I'm attempting to. You change the subject from the fallacy of reification, right? And you're asking me how I know God exists, okay? Now I'm answering you in good faith. You are the one who changed the subject. I'm trying to wrap this up, and you continue to bicker with me. Now, when you reject my statement that I know God exists by his self-revelation, right? You will either reject that either in principle or that it's not an instance of self-authentication. So which one of those are you operating from when you reject what I said?
I would say there could be something that is self-attesting.
My internet, you got to repeat.
Yeah, Darth, you've actually been dropping in and out a little bit. You might need to reconnect or something because we've been losing words here and there.
So
he's aware.
When you reject how I explained to you that this is about self. So your position is it's either you reject it in principle or that it's not an instance of self-authentication.
No, I said there could be an instance that there is a self-attesting thing.
No, you're not addressing the question. When you reject what I said, is it because it's not an instance of self-authentication?
No, I'm saying there could be an instance of self.
No, this is not an answer to my question. Let me repeat the question. And you reject that I say I know of God's existence by his self-authenticating revelation. You will either reject
I will
it in
reject
principle.
that.
May I fucking finish? Okay, are you rejecting it in principle that nothing can be self-authenticating, or are you rejecting it that the revelation of God of his existence in terms of it's not an instance of self-authentication?
You kind of did a bait and switch here. Okay,
I'm not gonna hold on.
Let me finish.
Let me finish.
I'm going to answer the question. I'm going to answer the question, and I'll answer it directly, right? But you have to fucking shut the fuck up for a minute and listen. I know this is difficult for you. Again, you're talking when I'm talking.
Wow. I mean, this is like this.
Go ahead, Razor. Go ahead and finish.
He's running away, Razor.
No,
let's find a better interlocutor. This is like bullshit.
Well, find a better interlocutor. Darth wants to just finish up. I think he made his point. Razor disagrees. So if they could mark their boundaries and we can move on.
Yeah, I was trying to let Razor answer him, but Darth wouldn't let him answer. Yeah. So
you just mark your boundaries.
Razor was grandstanding and spurging out. So
he's not grandstanding, dude. He was just answering him.
Razor answer.
I was trying to answer unless you just shut
okay. Did somebody mute Razor? Because we're gonna unmute Razor and let him answer.
I muted Razor. Let's
move on. He was just trying to answer, bro. He was just trying to answer.
I have a different characterization.
Okay.
Sorry, let's just move on.
The answer is. Okay, the answer.
Razor, you're in the mod war now. Goodbye. Move on.
No.
The answer.
Out of bounds right now.
Hang on, Darth.
Darth asked him a question with two parts. He is going to get to answer. Go ahead, Razor.
No. We're moving on.
No,
you had 30 minutes to Razor.
No,
we literally had 30.
Wait, can you guys just let the big boys talk and stop fighting amongst yourselves?
Go ahead, Razor.
And stop muting mods?
Yeah, that's it.
What? Who muted Razor for trying to answer Darth? What the fuck is happening?
You have the answer to the question. Why are you asking?
Go ahead, Razor. Okay.
Who are the mod angels? Is this you? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, we are moving on.
No.
Darth's unmuted.
Yes.
What's up, Darth? How you doing, buddy?
We are moving on. Razor had his shot.
Okay, so the question is, it seems that Razor's position, it seems that God's self-disclosure an instance of self-authentication.
Can I answer?
Yes, you need to be allowed to answer. Go ahead, Razor.
No, we're moving on. Like I said.
Okay, Angels, can you remove Concrete's mods, please? Because at this point, it's obviously that he is not able to answer.
Concrete's a goodwill.
Go ahead, take away his mods.
Yeah, Andrew he's locked. He's had his chance. I've made my decision. Let's move on to somebody else who wants to interact.
He was asked a question.
He's literally been here for 30 minutes.
He's mod abusing.
Literally here for 30 minutes.
Hold on. Darth, do you want to answer any atheist, or do you specifically want an answer from Razor?
To answer?
Yeah, I think.
Darth, do you want to talk to Razor?
Exactly.
Darth, do you want to talk to
Trying
Razor?
to, but he keeps on bickering.
All right,
then
then
can't focus.
Okay, here we go.
So look, I'm gonna offer this.
I'm
So
trying
Razor,
to speak with him. He's not answering the question.
Here we go. Go ahead. Answer the question.
Do you
Can you remember what the
God's
question
revelation?
is now, Razor, with all this bullshit?
Can I finish, please?
No, you
Stop
asked the question. No.
I mean,
can someone mute Andercus, please? Can someone mute Andercus?
This is embarrassing.
Toddler, please.
Okay. Now, Razor, do you reject the self-disclosure of God in creation as an instance of self-authentication?
Yes.
Okay. By what standard do you do so?
Because we don't have any priors for God.
No, there's not we. That's an.
Okay, I do not have any priors for God. So this ontology, holy shit, let me finish. This ontology of God, I do not know. I don't have a method to determine this ontology of God.
Not answering the question.
The problem is that we have an idea of, God revealed himself of the universe. We have the universe, therefore God. That's fucking terrible reasoning. If I say I'm the king of Spain, if we have cream cheese, we have cream cheese, so therefore I'm the king of Spain. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
The nature of the question. I don't think you understand your question, but I certainly understand.
So yes, I reject your self-attesting.
Can we have an adult back and forth? Do we really have to have this?
Yeah, I tried, Darth, but if concrete, if you get in the way of
your standard, can we stop the heckling, please? I've been more than patient. Hanging out in here, I've been more than patient. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Incredible.
Now, Razor. Okay, and I'm not normally this patient. Okay.
No, you're not. This is good.
So,
I like it.
Instead of verbosity, I just need simple, clean answers. Okay, I'm not trying to.
You do not get
not
to
let you. Can we stop the heckling, please?
That is an
unreasonable. What are you doing?
Can we stop the heckling?
Someone waterboard Andercus, please.
This is embarrassing.
Let's help out Andricus. We got to keep him muted.
That is an unreasonable.
Can we stop the heckling?
I'm just going to turn down Andercus because I don't know what's going on.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So all I want to know is concrete. By what singular concrete standard do you object to the revelation of God in creation and human history, namely the Bible? By what concrete standard do you reject that? Now, when you responded previously, you seem to be giving a response that you're suspending judgment. Is that correct?
I'm saying is I'm rejecting it based on the fact that I do not know or can confirm the properties of God.
That's not an answer. That's not a clear answer to my question. You're suspending judgment.
So I answered your question before. Does that mean I'm suspending judgment?
I don't know. Can you answer it so we can find out?
I'm asking you a very clear question. Are you rejecting the instance of God's put it forth? Are you rejecting it that it is an instance that it is not as a revelation from God, or are you claiming to suspend judgment?
I am claiming to suspend judgment until I have been given the properties of God.
All right. Now here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. Once you are confronted with the basics of because of the nature of what is put forth, it is not something in actuality that you can be neutral toward, like you could be neutral toward Bigfoot. Okay. So either you will accept that God's revelation is self-attesting, or you will reject it in terms of a de facto denial rather than a de jure denial. Do you know the difference between de facto and de jure denial?
It doesn't matter to the point is I would categorize God and Bigfoot being in the same category.
I asked you a question. A question. Do you understand the difference between a de facto denial and a de jure denial?
No.
Okay. So a de facto denial response, which is in effect a denial without explicitly stating so. Okay. It's because of the fact. Okay. Now, when you don't accept, I mean, I can give you a very simple analogy. have you ever been pulled over by a police officer in a traffic stop?
No, so de facto is either it is the case or it's not, correct?
No, I'm trying to explain something to you, all right? Have you ever been pulled over?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you refuse to stop with the red light spinning, or when you did pull over and you didn't roll down the window and you were unresponsive, okay? That would be a de facto denial of his authority over you, okay? Rather than a de jure one, rather than just simply saying, no, you're not a police officer.
That's not true.
You are in, okay, can we stop the heckling, please? Now, I want to get back to what you and I were arguing of the fallacy of reification. But when you reject God's revelation, okay, even in spite of the fact that you are claiming you're suspending judgment, it's a de facto denial, okay? Now, you're either going to accept that you a de facto denial of God's being an instance of self attestation, okay? Or you're going to say, no, I'm neutral, that you're suspending judgment. Are you suspending judgment about the revelation that you are acquainted with?
I'm not saying I have an actual revelation.
No. Okay. You're claiming to suspend judgment?
Hold on. No.
Are you claiming?
Holy shit. You're
either
asserting.
It's a de facto denial or not.
It's not a yes or no answers right away,
no,
right? There is caveats to somebody's fucking
either it's
position.
The de facto denial or not.
Okay, but the problem is it is not, because you're asserting that it is the case. You're asserting that there is this revelation. Holy shit!
You really want to talk to this person? Because this is a waste of fucking time.
No, this is.
You're asserting that there is this in fact revelation, right? That's your problem. You're already asserting that there's this revelation. So I'm wondering is how do we determine that is in fact revelation?
I'm just going to ignore what you're saying until you're done.
Okay,
you're not
good.
Responding to me.
Good.
Okay? Now,
good.
You are ignoring what I'm saying to you. That's just
and you're ignoring what I'm saying to you.
No, actually, I'm not.
You're like a child who's putting his hands in the air, going la 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 la. I'm not listening to you.
This is why it's with people like you.
It's a back and forth, right? Where I ask questions and I get to talk more than like 10 words.
Wow, dude. See, this is like dealing with a 15-year-old.
Yeah, and I'm dealing with a 5-year-old here.
And you see the
take your fingers out of your ears. Shut the fuck up for a second.
Here we go.
Not everything is black and white.
This is what we call the heckler's veto.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is Razor. What you're doing right now.
Ad hominem attacks. Let's hear them.
What you're doing right now is called the heckler's veto, and I'm powerless over the heckler's veto. Okay, because I don't have. So the point is, you're just bickering it with me with this point.
I can't even understand it. You're breaking up so bad.
Either what you are saying is a de facto denial, or it is not. Okay.
What makes it a de facto denial?
Okay, a de facto denial will be either explicit or implicit. Okay, in spite of the fact that one may claim to be neutral. Okay. Now, you are claiming to be neutral about an instance of the of God, because I heard you say earlier, you said, no, it is not a revelation of God. Or are you saying
that it's that? I said I couldn't determine if it is a revelation from God or not. You're just asserting that it is, and I'm saying is how did you become to do that?
You said this before.
So if you can hold on. If you can establish, holy shit. If you can actually establish that it is in fact a revelation, then it would be de facto. But you merely just saying it is not the case.
You like repeating yourself a lot, or
at this point, listen to me. I'm exercising extreme patience right now.
I don't give a fuck if you are
just bickering with me at this point. I'm trying to remain focused. Now, your claim to suspend judgment cannot hold up upon examination, because there are certain propositions that you cannot be neutral toward. Okay. And one of them is putative revelation of God. Okay.
Again, yes, of course, if I haven't proven something,
you know what? I'll leave. Listen.
So I can't respond to that, right?
It is impossible to talk to you.
We're moving on. Next.
See, this is the heckler's veto. This is what they do, okay? They turn it on and off in order to stall, stagnate, and delay the conversation while pretending to converse and debate. They're not. This is the heckler's veto.
Does anybody else want to engage?
He should be tried in a court of justice.
All right, let me just wrap this up, okay? Okay? And I'll try to be very brief, right? So he's earlier on in his words, he was in so many words saying that no, this is not God's revelation, you have to prove it. Then when the questions got more refined, he realized he was in trouble. So then he moved to claiming that he was suspending judgment. But what he doesn't understand is that there are certain, such as the one about the revelation of God, one cannot truly be neutral and suspend judgment. The claim to a suspension of judgment is simply what we call a de facto denial, but not a de jure denial. A de jure denial, or de jure would be legislative, de facto would just simply be the state of affairs without it being verbally or legislative, okay? So the non-acceptance of the pure revelation of God once the person is acquainted with whatever details there are, if it is not accepted, it will either be a de facto denial or a de jure denial. He is in a de facto denial of it. So once we realize that he's making a de facto denial of the putative revelation of God, then we're going to have to ask him by what standard he affirms or denies that or any other proposition, and is that standard self-attesting and self-authenticating? Okay, so he has a conundrum on his hands. He doesn't have the luxury about being neutral about the existence of God and the putative claim of the self-disclosure of God. You either have to accept it or you will deny it explicitly or implicitly. Now, one more thing. He's committing the fallacy of reification, and I explained to him what it was, and he refuses to acknowledge this very simple, basic error. So if he's going to say everything dictates everything, okay, or excuse me, reality dictates instances, reality is an abstraction. So what he's saying is each of the concrete particulars within the set of concrete particulars dictates all the other concrete particulars. So I have just a simple question. How does the angular momentum of an electron all the way across the visible universe dictate in any way, scratching the back of my hand right now? Okay.
That wouldn't be the claim.
Now, the point is this: when you say reality dictates everything, when people make statements like this is completely philosophically inept. It's totally amateurish. But be that as it may, okay? The problem with this is each and every concrete particular the group dictate everything. Then what you're saying is every single marble within the set of the marbles dictates what each member of the marble is. So that's like saying that all the marbles dictate marble number 5, and then all the marbles dictate with number 6. Okay. How does saying everything dictates everything, how is that even informative? Okay. Now, number 2, even if it was informative, how could you possibly ground that? Is it by pure reason? Is it by induction? So saying everything dictates everything is not something that can be instantiated by their own atheist standards where they say prove it. So for example, when we say God is, he created everything, and we know this because he revealed himself. Okay, so God is the cause of all these things, and they say prove it. But when they say reality dictates everything, so reality, or the set of all real things, it's the set of all things. Well, then my question is, okay, can you prove that? Because that's your standard, right? But the answer is that cannot be instantiated, okay? So I'll just 10 more seconds. So when somebody like Razor says reality dictates everything, this is not something that he can instantiate, and he violates his own principle of proof.
Okay.
And I'm done.
Okay. So Darth, if you're saying, it sounds like you're saying two things at once. That abstraction.
Oh, no. We're not doing this. I'm not talking to you.
I don't blame you, Darth. I don't blame you at all, brother.
Yeah, you're wasting your time.
Talk to me, or you can fucking leave.
So you're going to make him leave because someone doesn't want to talk to you? Because someone doesn't want to talk to you?
No.
Welcome to the atheist temper tantrum room, everybody.
Listen.
Andricus, I haven't talked with you for years, my friend. I'm not talking to you now.
It's a simple question. You're saying that abstraction is something that we cannot use to describe. What is your point of saying that a reality, that words are just abstractions? I don't understand your point of saying that words are just abstractions. Are you saying use words?
Don't you get? I haven't talked with you for years because of your stalking and bad behavior.
Whatever. That's just a point.
Anybody else?
No, it is a point. I've told you for years.
We've ended up
repeatedly attempted to contact me and speak with me. I've told you for years now. I do not talk with you anymore.
Whatever. So, Darth,
because you're a naughty little boy. I'm not
so
talking
creepy. That guy's like 10 years younger than you.
Yo, Andricus, are you just going to keep us from having a conversation?
We're done. I'm not interested in speaking with you. You're a naughty little boy.
Well, then you can just go away.
Or he can stay and you can be quiet and let somebody else talk.
I agree with what you said about the reification fallacy. But like, what hinges on that? Like, what are you trying to say?
That disappoints me. I thought Andricus had grown to a level where he could be given a second chance.
Yeah, well,
Darth, no, he has repeatedly. What do you want me to respond, Angels? Do you want me to respond?
Talked to him for a while.
Okay, I'll be brief. Okay, Andricus has behaved in a persistent and chronic trollish fashion toward me. Can I speak? Can I speak?
No, not about no.
Is this embarrassing for the room? This is the heckler's veto.
What are you doing?
This is the heckler's veto.
I don't get this.
Can we stop the heckler's
veto?
veto,
Please?
please?
You complain, right? Like that's
if I turn around and impugn you, what does that get us? It doesn't get us anywhere.
Andricus has a multi-year history of harassment, stalking, and trolling me.
You said you haven't talked to him for a while.
For years, I don't talk with him.
You haven't talked to him for a while.
He's been
How do you
through a
know that
lot.
he's like this? How do you know that he hasn't changed?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna.
This guy's banging.
We give concrete new chances.
Like that. He ain't got time for
We're gonna move on to real.
Yeah, why are you giving? Dude, you guys have had verbal. You guys have had verbal battles that you and I have not had. You and Concrete have had.
We're gonna move on to a real conversation. Please stop the heckling.
Your mods are go.
Yeah, please stop the heckling. You're a child.
You're gonna.
Yeah, you're acting like a child.
You gotta find middle ground here.
Fucking abuse.
Come on.
That's absolute abuse.
There is no middle ground.
Okay, now that
on the
now Furious
metaphysics,
George has been removed,
but as people, we can find middle ground. Okay.
You got 42 people here, and you're making it the Andricus show. Can somebody get to the mic? You let somebody else get to the mic.
You literally mean that anybody's conversation with Darth is talk for 5 seconds, and Darth doesn't like it, then you mute them. Yeah, go ahead, mute me. It shows.
I'm muted. You gotta unmute me. You gotta fucking.
So look. So who else wants to engage with Darth so we can have a conversation?
I agree with that.
Why are you Darth?
Yeah, concrete's an official panhandler.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Whose decision was that?
Yeah, they're gone.
The person who, Andricus can say they're gone, but he's acted like a complete child, telling people to leave the room if they don't want to talk to him.
Alex, nobody.
You shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? Listen to all these people that are just embarrassed for you. What do you mean?
No,
Alex, nobody.
You sat here and told someone that didn't want to talk to you to go away because they wouldn't talk to you. You're just a cookie cutter bitch, Andricus. That's all you are.
Alex, nobody cares.
Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Whatever you say.
Alex is so wily now.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. When the atheists like to act like they stand on some solid ground and then fucking melt into their own shoes, it's just sad. You can't help but point and laugh.
Yelling in the back door.
He's coming today. He's motivating right now. It's really.
Does anybody else here want to engage?
The mods are literally.
I guess I was trying to get that Dave.
I be an atheist. I'm required to.
If somebody wants to talk with me, otherwise I'll just leave. You know.
So Darth, I agree with the reification fallacy.
Yeah, Andricus was trying to talk to you.
You can't handle the big dog.
Yeah, well, I think I've made it very clear about my position on Andricus. Okay, there are a few people. Can I just speak briefly? There are a small number of people that have engaged in harassing, stalking, and chronic trolling that I generally make it a rule. I don't talk with them anymore. I don't care if anybody doesn't believe me or doesn't agree with me. If you cross certain lines with me, then you're not.
You have said that you haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah. Do you hear why he said he doesn't talk to him in a while? He said because of his trollish and stalking behavior.
But he might have changed.
That is why. Why are you?
Let me make a brief comment.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Go ahead.
Let me make one brief comment.
Not everybody is a narcissist.
May I make a brief comment here? Okay. For years, the atheist sophists have accused me of picking hanging fruit and white belts. I was invited within the last 2 years to speak with like 8 different atheist PhDs. Okay. I'm not afraid of talking with anybody, but I will draw a line in the sand when people behave very chronically bad toward me, and I let them know I'm not interested in talking with you. I don't know why they're obsessed with me. Okay.
And even those PhDs didn't understand the kind of methodology that you're using with words. You have your own proprietary.
Yeah, that's white noise. Anyone can listen to my interaction.
Garth, I agree with your reification fallacy.
You can go listen to them. Even the PhDs.
Funky con. What you're saying is white noise. Yeah, this is just.
You can say it's white noise, but it's actual fact.
Yep.
I think anyone here
able to engage the big dogs. That's just the point. He just wants to.
Anyone can go back and listen to the videos
the white belt.
We have.
Talk that I was perfectly cogent.
I don't understand what you're.
No,
I'm not really into.
Yeah, I don't care anymore, Darth. If all you want is white belts,
you're gonna mute Darth.
Let the white belts follow
destroy the conversation now. Okay.
Go to your own room and let the white belts follow you.
We're all talking about